Right.
All
right.
I guess we're live here now.
We tried a new setup and it did not work.
Did not work.
Even though it did work.
Even though it did work
3 days ago when we tested this out.
So fucking annoying. Anyways, we
What's
are
going on,
trying.
people?
How's it going? We're trying to ditch StreamYard because we don't want to pay for it. Obviously, so we're going to stream through OBS and get a higher quality video feed and all that. We had it set up so we could highlight your comments and everything. And we started the stream, and the stream
did not go live.
Did not actually start. OBS was sending nothing, 0 kilobytes per second, even though it said we were streaming. So
anyway,
I'm very angry right now. Like I am about to chip. Anyway, how's it going, everyone? We got squat, bench, deadlift here. I gotta increase the font size so I can see.
Yeah.
How's it going, man? Good to see you. I'll sleep for a couple of hours. For me, the stream starts at 4:30 a.m. God damn, dude. I can start my morning real early and classy. Then to work. At least it's Friday. Thank the gods. Every day is Friday for me now. Actually, what I'm saying, I'm Orthodox. Thanks God. Thank God.
True.
Question for the boys. Any non-RPG books you're reading at the moment? Fiction, non-fiction, whatever. I'm reading Lonesome Dove, and goddamn, what a great fucking book, even if I'm not a fan of Westerns.
Well, we have said before, and we're going to talk about this more at length when we launch the podcast in the near future. But we're both reading The Elusive Shift, which we've mentioned a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm reading a book called it's a nonfiction book called The Ancient City. It's about how religious and political, the religious and political, impulses of ancient villages and ancient societies worked, and like the incentives behind them, and sort of the whys behind a lot of things that we either take for granted or aren't actually realistic at all. The guy's name is, it's like one of these old ancient 5-word names. And it sounds very French. I don't know if the guy's French, but I think the last name is Coulanges, which is probably not pronounced correctly at all. But very good book. Highly recommend it if you're interested in ancient history or ancient religion. The ancient world at all. Also, a lot of good inspiration for how to conceptualize a pre-modern like family and community structure. So
yeah, I am also deep in The Elusive Shift right now as well. I'm reading Snow Crash by Stevenson on the side, which is
I have not read it in like over 20 years.
This is the first time for me, which is absurd, seeing
really
I am an anarcho-capitalist.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's like required.
And I still haven't read Cryptonomicon, which I still have.
Definitely read that.
I have to finish it.
It's so good. I always recommend The Road by Cormac McCarthy to anyone who's a father. I read that. I'm not a father. I read that like 15 years ago. And I was like, this made me miss my dad.
Yeah.
Like really good book.
Who's not dead.
Who's not dead. Yeah. Who just lived in a different state.
Yeah. I would highly recommend Blood Meridian as well, which I know a lot of people have talked about. It's another Cormac McCarthy book. That will never get turned into a movie, despite many attempts.
Probably
I hope it doesn't.
Yeah. Oh no! I mean, the interview that Tucker Carlson did with Putin, it just came out 2 hours ago.
Yeah, get ready for your 45-minute history lesson.
How's it going, Mr. Max? Needs to watch the Putin interview. Live from Austin. It's Thursday night. Exactly. We were smoking cigarettes, but then having technical problems. We were talking to you guys and then realized nothing was happening.
Being sent.
Theater kids warming up the vocal cords with cigarettes. Exactly.
Always.
Yeah. And also occasionally funny, unlike the other show. I just read Dying Earth series by Jack Vance.
Oh, hell
it's a
yeah.
wild setting that inspired the magic system out of D&D.
Hell yeah. Dying Earth is awesome. Such a cool, evocative world.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to read that.
I will at some point. I'm gonna at some point. I got to finish the Conan stories. I read about half of them, and I've got the
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got the complete thing on the shelf over there.
I really like the Kull the Conqueror stories, the sort of ancient iteration of Conan. He's basically the same character with some slight differences, but from Atlantis, not from Sumeria.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and work my way through Appendix N at some point.
Yeah, there's a lot in Appendix N I haven't read. I've never read any of the Elric stuff. I've never read Moorcock. And I need to.
Golems come from the Hebrew something, which is the root for material. That is true, I assume.
Probably true.
In modern Hebrew, calling someone a golem is like saying dummy or blockhead. Yeah. All good things come to those who wait. Exactly.
True.
Crispy.
Good to see you,
exactly.
Crispy.
Brother Grognard, at some rando, yes, it did, and they paid homage to Vance by immortalizing him in the form of the Lich.
Yeah, the anagram
Vecna.
of Vance.
Baka. They just enjoy being fashionably late.
Also true.
Yeah. Except for
not this time.
Yeah, except for when it's linked to anything technology-wise, which is just fucking annoying.
When it's our choice.
Yeah, that's exactly. In much the same way that Dromage is Jim Ward. Yeah, okay. How's it going, Billy Mitchell? How's it going, squat, bench, deadlift? I want to say squat, deadlift, bench. Jestro Games, trouble with your stream? See a doctor.
Yeah.
Fashionably late. Yep. Dad's coming back from getting smokes. So much light, you're blasted. Are we? Are we overexposed? It looks pretty normal. Right? I was going to say, did you go back to StreamYard? We did.
Yeah.
I can turn down the color correction here.
We do look kind of red.
We always look red.
But whatever.
Yeah, let me double click here. Take the gamma down, maybe. Now we're really red.
Yeah.
Take the contrast down to. Oh God, it's getting worse. Turn up the brightness.
Whatever.
Am I making it worse? I probably am. We look kind of out of focus now, though. But
yeah, we do. But it's too late now.
But I don't care. Yeah. How's that, guys? Does that look better, or do we just make it worse?
We'll find out in 45 minutes when we get.
Yeah, we went back to StreamYard, unfortunately. Fucking annoying. How's it going, Broken Blade? Everyone, Broken Blade has his Kickstarter for Storms.
Yeah, he's almost there.
Almost there. He's going to come on the stream next Thursday, and we're going to talk Perilous D6, Streets of Peril, Storms over Sternberg, obviously, as well as just some general role-playing stuff. So definitely go subscribe.
Check out the
to his
Kickstarter
channel.
and check out his channel.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This guy gets it.
Also, you live in Israel? I don't know. How's it going, Patty's Parlor? Good to see you, man.
What's up?
Hello, all. Ginger, Steve, Max, Patty. Golems are greater than gargoyles. I think technically, I don't know, man. I like that cartoon a lot.
I never got into it. I never watched.
Really?
I've seen like a couple episodes.
It was
like
Disney's attempts to make something like Batman the animated
You know what I
series.
keep seeing?
You would fucking love gargoyles.
The past week, I've been seeing a YouTube ad for, I guess, the creator or one of the people who made gargoyles. I don't know why, because I always skip it. But apparently he's doing something else now.
Okay.
So it's coming back into the.
I really liked Gargoyles. That was a good show.
I know that one of them was called Hudson.
Yeah, they all took the names of the like the boroughs.
Oh, okay.
And because they're defending New York City.
Okay. Why?
Because they were frozen in time by some magical curse, and then Commander Riker did the voice of Xanatos, the bad guy.
Okay.
Who's like
I do love Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah, he's got Jonathan Frakes. His character has a mullet, and he owns like the tallest skyscraper in New York, and he rebuilds because the curse only ends when the castle soars above the clouds, and so he stone by stone moves the castle from Scotland to the top of his skyscraper and places them all, and they come back to life at night.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they turn into stone during the day.
Okay.
There's all sorts of great stuff. There's an episode that only aired once where one of them is, because they're like human person is this like cop chick, and he's in her apartment and he's playing with her gun, and he's not supposed to be. And what do you know? It goes off and he shoots her, and she like almost dies.
Damn.
And he's like, "Oh, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to jail." You know, like they never allowed that one to be shown ever again on TV.
Not because someone actually got shot, but someone had a gun in New York City.
But it's great. I mean, it's got like literal Shakespeare characters are in it. Like Macbeth is like a cybernetic hunter or something, and like Puck and Oberon and Titania,
like Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yeah, like there's all sorts of shit going on. Marina Sirtis plays one of the
all of TNG.
A lot of the TNG people.
I love TNG, so I will like this.
It's really good. I liked it a lot. Heinlein for the win. I hate Heinlein. I tried reading fucking Stranger in Strange Land.
I didn't like it.
It's terrible. I hate it.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I've heard The Moon is a Harsh Mistress is good, but it's also
I think that's the only thing I've the only thing I've read of Heinlein.
Yeah. I gave Stranger in Strange Land a chance, and I did not like it.
Yeah.
That book sounds excellent. Pushing towards pre-modernity is a great goal for fantasy simulators.
Yes. Yeah. You would love it. You would love it.
Caught the stream on time today. How about that? Makes one of us.
Yeah.
I liked Snow Crash. Liked Diamond Age less. Yeah, I haven't read Diamond Age either.
Neither have I.
I have read Cryptonomicon, and I have Quicksilver, which I've attempted to start reading several times, which is like the same universe as Cryptonomicon, but it's the ancestors. Because Cryptonomicon is two timelines in one book. You have characters in World War II, their descendants in the 90s.
Yep.
This goes back to the Revolutionary War period. And it's their ancestors again, and they're like the weird cryptographers of the time. And Enoch Root.
Da Vinci Code, but not lame.
Yeah. Yeah. I had this, oh my God, I dated this girl in New York who was like, "Oh, you're like a programmer. Like, you'll really like this book." And she gives it to me, and I don't remember it's called Digital Fortress, like Dan Brown. And I read it, and it was the dumbest fucking thing I've read in my entire life. It's like so fucking funny. He gave me it had like he was using. Like whenever he was describing technical stuff, it was literally like he just went and Googled a bunch of like tech words. It
back
was
when you
tech word soup. Like
back when you could do that without people.
It's
everybody catching on.
It was like the worst fucking thing I've ever read. I was laughing so hard. She was so mad too because I was making fun of it, and she really liked it. I too have yet to read Snow Crash. I have it on the shelf, but haven't cracked it open yet. We'll give it a try, man.
Yeah, all in due time.
I prefer gargoyles, but I'm Catholic. That makes sense. When you're talking about golems, are you going to throw up a picture of Garibay? No.
Garibay does not have enough will to be considered a golem.
Conan is from Samaria, though. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Dying Earth is fucking weird and unsettling, much like modern D&D, but in a cool way and not an embarrassing way.
Yes. Dying Earth is way cooler than modern D&D.
I like the Draenei Saga by David Gemmell. Great read.
I've never heard of it.
I think I'm going to pass on the Putin interview. I've probably heard his every excuse already echoed 50 times over by tankies on the left.
Yeah.
I'm late. So were we, man. Don't worry about it. You haven't missed anything.
People should also read Gene Wolfe, Shadow of the Torturer.
That's the guy that Shauner likes, right?
I don't know. Probably.
I think Shauner
has good taste. He probably likes Gene Wolfe.
Golems kill their masters.
They certainly can. Yeah.
Is not unheard of. It might have some worthy meme material, but I have a low tolerance for Verano. I don't know who that is. You guys are a bit overexposed. Are we still overexposed? Let's roll down here and see if we are. We don't look overexposed on our
we also
screen.
It also looked to us like your shirt was red.
Yeah.
And it was pink.
That's true. Yeah, let us someone tell us in the comments right now if we're still overexposed.
I think we would have seen it because Shauner just says Gene Wolfe for the win.
Yeah.
And he's right. As is his wanton custom. Shauner is always right.
Right.
And anyone who disagrees with Shauner is proving
you just have more lights is all. That's not true. We have literally the exact same lights. And I haven't touched the exposure on the camera.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, there's a light like way back there. Well, I mean, I guess I could turn that one off, but that's definitely not affecting anything.
Yeah, it's not.
Like I said, it's not affecting anything.
Whatever. We'll just have to be overexposed this time.
Need more skin showing to be overexposed. Yeah. All right. Let's catch back up here. Let's see where we are.
All right.
Boomers. Yes. Correct.
Big time.
Looks better, I think. Okay.
All right. Fair enough.
The ginger complaining about looking red. Anyone mention how whack building golems in D&D are? Like 30,000 GP plus.
Yeah, that's why we're making this.
Yeah.
Because everybody does it wrong.
Yeah. And
thinks of them as
it's going to be a lot more expensive in a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The
boys have halos. All is right with the world. It looks better, but Nick got a Homer Simpson beard donut. Let me see that. Hello, boys. Long time. No comment. How's it going, Written Lies? What were you trying to use rather than StreamYard? Just OBS, because we can stream in 1080p from OBS, and we tricked it into accepting our StreamYard comments. And then we tested it out on like private streams that were literally streaming 3 days ago, and then today when we started the stream, it just wasn't sending any data. Yeah, it said it was live in OBS, but it was not. It was
everything
0
was good
kilobytes
on the back end
per second. Yeah. Super fucking annoying.
Whatever.
As the colorblind representative, I think it looks fine, which means you guys are probably fucked. Gargolems. Probably Garibay, yeah.
No, gargoyles.
Gargoyle. Yeah, gargoyles. Yeah, okay, I'm retarded. I was too old for the Gargoyles cartoon. Yeah, probably. Hey, Matt, Mr. Max Yig, and other lodge men and women. Mostly men.
Mostly. And by mostly, we mean entirely.
Yeah. Hey, Patty. Steve would love Gargoyles. Yeah, you really would. It's a good show.
Okay.
Never saw the cartoon, just know the real stuff. Malay has a mullet. Yeah, Malay is a man from a different dimension.
Yeah. From the anime dimension.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that he got elected, and he's going to finally make the promise of the Ron Paul 2008 campaign come true, which is he's going to make anime real. How's it going, Doc Flamingo? Good to see you. Gestro Games. You know, Exalted Funeral doesn't have the best catalog of games, but they really do make up for it with great customer service. Do they do like warehouse fulfillment? I feel like Epic of Dreams got fulfilled through Exalted Funeral, but I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I checked out their website and I didn't see anything about that.
Huh. Don't know.
Yeah. I love when people move their castles stone by stone, as do I.
Yep.
With the illegals in New York now, we need the gargoyles more than ever. Hail and well met. How's it going?
Good to see you.
Pave Low John. Pave Law John? Low John. I don't know. Quarrymen were dope villains. I don't know what those are. Definitely would love to have my kids check out Gargoyles. I wish I remembered better. I think it's on like probably Hulu. But then you'd be paying money to Disney.
Yeah.
It might also just be on YouTube.
It's got to be. I'm sure
you can find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
As always, there are other ways
yes.
to obtain digital entertainment.
You are a mariner.
Yeah. Moving a castle from France to America was a plot point in Moonraker. Yeah. TikTok. Read Starship Troopers. It's pretty good.
I love the movie.
I love the movie, which is why I don't want to read the book.
Yeah. The movie is so good.
Perfect. Like, I love Paul Verhoeven, and that is such a good movie. Oh, we got a super chat from Matthew Pickard. Thank you for the Canadian $5.
Thank you, sir.
A really good alt history RPG is Deadlands.
Oh, yeah.
I like that in classic, despite the South getting rid of slavery, the Civil War kept going into the 1870s.
Almost there.
Let's see here.
Yeah, Deadlands is really cool from what I've seen of it. I don't own it. I played in a one-shot of it. Seems really cool.
Trying to defend Heinlein here. Okay, Starship Troopers and Moon is a harsh mistress. Don't read Stranger in a Strange Land unless you are a filthy hippie. That's exactly how I felt, because it's like the professor character that is the obvious self-insert for Heinlein, who's just like, oh, you know, I'm just chilling out here. I'm so smart and I don't give a fuck about anything, but all these gorgeous young chicks just want to be in my harem.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like meh, Hammer Slammer's greater than Starship Troopers. Don't know what that is either. Give the Moon is a Harsh Mistress a chance. Great book. Starship Troopers is also excellent. Heinlein is based as fuck. I don't know. I feel like he changed a lot based on whatever woman he was around, which is not based at all.
Yeah.
Miramachi is true, but Armor is better than both of them. Then we got The Ancient City, a study of the religion laws.
Yes, that's the book. That's the book.
Correct. Father of libertarian sci-fi him and Rand. I mean, Rand is awesome. I love her so dearly. And she was right about libertarians as well. I am an anarcho-capitalist, but I don't really consider myself a libertarian anymore, because libertarians are all really dumb.
Yeah.
I hate them. And I'm friends with many of them, but goddamn, and they know I hate them. But goddamn it, they really, really have gone off the deep end. It's not even that they've gone off the deep end. I'm not going to go there. It doesn't matter. I'm moving on. Yeah, Dan Brown's books did not age well. Armor was pretty good, but The Forever War was the GOAT, which I have heard that. Starship Troopers was excellent. Stranger in a Strange Land was tedious. Yeah, I didn't even finish it. I got halfway through and I was like, I'm done. Forever War, Home Fires, Scalzi, Old Man's War.
I have read Scalzi. I've read Old Man's War. I liked it, but not nearly as much as my friend was telling me I would like it.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations. This is good, but...
Yeah. Oh, God. You guys must go read all of David Gemmell. Okay.
All right, fair enough. You've steered us right.
Steered us right so far. Also, you have an intruder in your house. I don't know what you're talking about. Gene Wolfe for the win. Yeah. Say what you like about Putin, but he's the closest thing we have to a real-life Bond villain, and that should count for something. Who? I feel like Bezos really has more of like the Bond villain vibe going on. Like he shaved his head and got jacked.
Give it time.
Got divorced.
Yeah, you know,
he's like
that'll drive him
making rockets, going to space. Yeah. Book of the New Sun is really good, but it's dense. Definitely got to use your noggin for those 4 books.
Yeah.
Whoops. You just have more lights is all. Wrong. Overexposed. They're fully clothed. It's not bad. Okay, good. We look fine. It's because I've never seen your beard so red, bro. Michael Crichton is a good read. I read Jurassic Park and the Lost World when I was in
I never read any
grade.
Michael Crichton.
He's entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I started reading Timeline when I was in high school, like during English class when I was bored, and then never finished it. But Michael Crichton was very entertaining from what I remember. I'm reading Shadow of the Torturer right now.
Nice.
I just opened it a few days ago. So far, so good.
Yeah. Really evocative.
Gene Wolfe also has some really good short stories. Soldier in the Mist is excellent as well. Rage of the Dragons by Evan Winter is amazing. Show us your tits. You're going to have to super chat us some serious cash for that to happen, man. Matthew Pickard again for $5 Canadian. Remember when Penn Jillette congratulated Gavin Newsom for not being thrown out of office? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Man, what a
character, Penn Jillette.
Yeah, man, he's so bad. And he used to be decent.
Yeah.
And now he's not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was prime, like, New Atheist. He wasn't part of the New Age, but that spirit was animated.
Proto-Reddit.
Yeah. Remember my show, Bullshit?
Wait, the picture got better when the ginger left the frame. Have you figured out that Severian is the very definition of the unreliable narrator?
Yes, I have.
Cursive Yig, rabbis don't work for free, and you have any idea how rare they are in D&D settings?
Well,
David Drake RCS series.
A lot of good recommendations.
Yeah. Read Golems. Pathfinder 1E has pretty good golems and tons of different flavors. They're a good way to challenge a magic-heavy party.
There are, but here's the thing, and this is the problem. Well, there's several problems. One is that every conceptualization of golems in every fantasy book or every fantasy game, they're just magical robots, which is boring and untrue. And the only thing that makes the golems different is just, oh, here's a magical robot made out of wood. Here's one made out of iron. Here's one made out of a wacky material. It's an alchemical golem. This one's a shade steel golem. This one's like, yeah, okay. But that's not actually what's interesting about these creatures or these constructs. What's interesting about them is how, and even more importantly, why would a wizard spend the time, money, and effort to make these things?
Yeah.
What is the point? They're not just
other than having a robot.
Yeah, other than having a robot, which is so we have robots, leave robots in sci-fi.
Yeah. Agreed. Makes sense. The North and the South hated each other for the same reason the English and the Irish hated each other. Quarrymen are from gargoyles. Dang. Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't seen it in 25 years, so. By the way, anyone else watching the Unwanted Undead Adventurer? Really good anime with a D&D flavor so far. No, I think I may have seen something.
I heard some people on Twitter arguing whether it was based or not. And the fact that people are arguing whether this anime is based or not means I don't want to watch it. Yeah. And it's probably not based. In fact, it can't be.
It is anime.
It is anime.
The secret ingredient is crime. The sacred ingredient.
Yeah.
Any recommendations for sci-fi short stories?
Sci-fi short stories. I'm not really that much of a sci-fi guy. I haven't read that much science fiction. You could say The Dying Earth is sci-fi. You could also say that the Empire of the Pelthrone books, the Tecumel books, are also sci-fi.
Yeah, doesn't that take place like way in the far future?
It's like way, way, way in the far future on another planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Civil War kept going because Gettysburg Battle ended as a stalemate because the dead got up and kept fighting. That's awesome.
Nice.
How do you guys let's fucking go? Are all your games in real life?
Look for group.
Oh, look for
oh my God. Stream over.
So we used to do a lot of gaming online.
Yeah.
And then
we're still working that out.
We're still working it out. We're
taking a lot of time.
Yeah. We happened. We were walking my dog when we were working on stuff this last weekend, and ran into a group of LARPers in the park across the street from where I live.
We cold called them.
Yeah, and we cold called them. We're like, "You got any immersive role players?" And they were like, "Yes."
Now that's what they said.
That is what they say, and they said to come by next time because we were there when they were just packing up. And if anyone, and we'll see.
You know,
we did find out there was a monthly vampire LARP in Austin. All right, here we go. We got another one from John Smith, $5. Thank you, man. It won't let me show us your tents. Blame YouTube censorship for the low dollar amount.
They're on to you.
Yeah, well, we do appreciate the $5 though. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Starship Troopers, the movie, and Starship Troopers, the book, are two completely different things, which is why I don't want to read the book.
Yeah, and I know Dizzy is a man in the books.
One does not spoil the other. I don't know, man. It's such a pure thing.
Like, why would I even bother getting a lesser version?
I know. I found pitching TTRPGs to people I know in real life was way better than going online. Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
if you've got people who would be willing to play,
because you know people.
Yeah.
The fact that you know them means you have a sense of whether or not they're going to be a good fit. Or not.
Scanners live in vain, about people who burn out their nerve endings to survive the great pain of space travel. That sounds cool.
Cool.
Dan Simmons and Walter John Williams are two writers with really good short story collections. Same with David Drake. Awesome. Just finished reading Between Two Fires, and that book is fucking amazing. Highly recommended. Interesting. I've never heard of that one.
Neither have I.
Let us know what it's about. Heinlein could write anime. Again, this is not a point in Heinlein's favor. I was a Martian survivor and all the human girls want me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Libertarians are losers. Well, Shauner, yes, most of them are, but there's no middle ground. You either have Ubermensch or complete stoner losers. There's no middle ground with libertarians. But I know it's like you're either hyper competent or you're just completely incompetent. Between Two Fires is fucking awesome. Armor by John Steakley. I loved that book. Yeah, I've seen people on Twitter recommend that as well. One of the first mecha anime was Starship Troopers anime from like the late 70s. Interesting. I do like mechs. When you'll be my age, you'll share my views, Matt. I don't think I will. I don't think I will, but my views have changed slightly over time. Only very slightly. Like so slightly that it basically doesn't matter. Read Between Two Fires about a year ago. Good stuff, especially for those that like medieval history. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
B-rate 80s action film RoboJocks. Oh yeah, Robot Jocks is great.
Something else I no idea what that is.
It's like they have like tournaments or something where they like have two mechs square off against each other, but then like the bad Russian guy gets in a mech and is like destroying things, and the good guy's name is Achilles. Okay. He's like Achilles, and then Achilles is like looking up the camera. He's like, I'm gonna kick your ass, and he gets in a big motion stop mecha. It's fucking awesome.
Like 80s wrestling.
But it's like mechs. A 2.5 hour movie with like 3 minutes of mech footage. And then Robot Jocks 2 is dog shit.
Well,
it is so bad.
One could have imagined.
I even read the newest Cyberpunk 2077 novel. It was all right.
I didn't even know they were making novels.
I heard the anime for that was really good.
Which I also haven't seen.
Yeah.
Netrunners, I think.
I've heard good things about the Ember War, modern world, but technology stops working, so I have to go back to medieval stuff. Man, so many people would die.
Yeah.
You have good taste. Schwab is the in real life Bond villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Klaus Schwab. Putin lost his black belt when he invaded Ukraine. White belt chomp. Yeah, that's right. They took the International Judo Association or whatever, revoked his black belt.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's so lame.
The closest thing we have to a real Bond villain is Schwab. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Max agreed. Klaus Schwab is the best Bond villain on the modern day. Just check out any images of him on Google. Pretty wild that someone would actually look like that.
Yeah.
Schwab is a crazy villain. Eaters of the Dead and Timeline were good. The Black Company series is first rate. Interesting.
I've heard a lot of people. That's Glenn Cook, I think. I've heard a lot of people talk about that and say that it's really good.
Putin is not really a villain. He just focuses on Russian interests, which are not necessarily aligned with ours. That doesn't make him a villain. I mean, my feelings on Putin are basically that he is a villain, not for the reasons that people say, in news media or whatever, but the guy was part of the fucking KGB. Like,
yeah,
you can't be a good guy and have
the head of the KGB.
Yeah, I've been the head of the KGB and then beat out all of the other like plutocrats and oligarchs to become the president of Russia forever or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, there's I don't know. There's but that's my feeling with all politicians really though is and I wouldn't really consider him a politician in the sense that like our politicians are politicians, but people who lead the state, they're all the bad guy.
Very true.
Some of them are considerably worse bad guys than others. But none of them are your friend. Right next to that, Uebol, or however you spell his name, dude literally said all of our rights are imaginative. If you cut a man open, you don't find rights. Uebol is. I gotta.
The like retarded director.
Yeah, the director who makes all the bad movies.
Yeah, who challenged someone to like box
him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he's like an actual boxer. Like he challenged like I don't remember who he challenged, but he would beat the fuck out of them. Like
and I think did, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I like him though because he makes everyone so mad. Like I remember when he was making all those bad video game movies.
Oh, that's right. He made like
looting the House of the Dead. Get wrecked, nerds. I sometimes wonder if Schwab is a real person. Well, I'm not gonna read the next one. I want to see a Yiddish paladin. Make him.
Or don't.
Or Democrats love the Schwab. I saw one in Israel. Aren't historic golems more like revenants? I don't know. We don't really care about the historical golems. We got what's up, man. Yiddish paladin is just an IDF soldier. Changed my mind. Hello. Genies in D&D have the same problem. They just made elemental flavors for them. Yeah,
that's the problem with so many different.
I know it's so many different monsters. It's this thing, but red.
Yeah.
Pathfinder 1E had rules to turn golems into power armor in the Ultimate Magic book. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah. The Pathfinder universe has actual corporations like Golem Works and Karamaga.
They do.
That make and sell golems, makes them feel much more real.
Which would be cool if for the write-up of the Golem Works or the write-up of golems at all, you had any meaningful flavor other than this is a golem made out of iron. It has immunity to electricity or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? It costs 30,000 gold pieces worth of raw iron to make. Wow.
Yeah.
Real exciting.
Yeah.
Real interesting.
Do you know how much iron that would be, by the way?
More than it would.
Like, it would be so much iron.
Yeah, more than like a 10-foot tall man of iron.
Technically, Frankenstein's monster is a golem. That is correct.
True.
It's a much more interesting
also incorrect. That is a Promethean.
Yeah, well, that's true. Ran my party through White Plume Mountain. They fell in love with Golem number 9, took him through the whole dungeon, including through the tumbler, which was like throwing a shoe in the dryer. The Justice of Kings is a great read by Richard Swan. The main character is an Emperor's Justice, who is a detective, judge, and executioner all in one. I am the law.
Yeah,
he can necromancy to interrogate the dead.
I mean, Judge Dredd with necromancy does sound.
That does sound fucking cool.
Yeah.
Lol, let's fucking go. Yeah. Sean are incorrect. Golems are clearly magic, while Frankenstein is all about the birth of science. Damn, Frasier, let's fucking go. It's not just magic is Kabbalah.
Yeah.
Numenera setting, the
Jewish
ninth world
nonsense.
is really good. Earth 1 billion years in the future. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, Numenera. It's a billion years in the future. It's the ninth world. It's a cool setting. I like it.
Let's fucking go, Finder and MMOs.
Yeah.
LFG, let's fucking go. We're doing it live. Golems are spiritual by nature, with the logos of name and all of that.
Yeah, with like the word of I think this is like the Jewish. My Wikipedia knowledge of Jewish golems. I think you're supposed to like put the word of God or something on a piece of paper and put it in there. Also, what we're doing is much cooler.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not as cool.
Yeah.
Magic is just science that is not understood.
I disagree, Sean. Certainly, especially in regards to like fiction, magic should remain mysterious and it should remain its namesake, magical. I understand what's that Clark Ashton Smith? Did he say that or that corollary magic and magic of a certain
certain
sophistication is indistinguishable from magic. I do get that.
Yeah,
I understand it, but I think again, even if that's true, people in the fantasy world, in the ancient world in which you're playing the game, they don't understand the technology, so couch it as magic.
Yeah. Greek myths have golems, automatons made of bronze or stone. Daedalus and Hephaestus made them.
Yeah.
Examples: Talos and Jason from Jason and the Argonauts is one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is significantly more cool than a D&D golem. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Books 1,000 times better. Here we go. We're back up. Skeletons can be a bit of a robot too.
See, this is the problem because there's no real distinction. It's just, well, Golem is a robot. It's an artificial thing that just sort of commands the caster or the manufacturer's will. How is that different from skeletons? Like, yeah, okay. Like if you don't have a clear idea of what the different distinctions in your world are, you can make that case, but that case is just evidence of a poorly construed world. Skeletons should be necromantic. They should be evil. They should all be evil undead.
Skeletons feel like what the African concept of zombies are, as in a puppet slave and not necessarily a living undead. Would you like to know more? Undead servitude. Robots come from Russian literature, but it's similar. New reward tier on the BLG Kickstarter for the vegan leather X card. Free let's fucking go tea in every gender configuration.
Now we're talking.
It's infinity genders. Deadlands seems like it's just steampunk Western, but it gets way crazier than that the more you dig into it.
I didn't get this. Maybe that's true. I didn't get the steampunk element, but again, I don't own it.
People can choose their race and sex and age on the fly now. Magic is real. Sorry for the lag, but I've tried playing TTRPGs with my friends, but they aren't TTRPG gamers. I'd rather play with RPG gamers and become friends, you know? Yeah.
I do know.
I
have plenty of friends who I know for a fact would be a terrible fit for not just my group, but for any group. They don't get it, or they don't really want to engage in the activity, and that's fine. I'm friends with them for different reasons.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, man.
Well, I gotta say, nice. It says we got 69 people viewing right now, so
hey,
why don't you guys go over and hit that like button for us and subscribe to the bell? Blah blah blah. All right, first time watching your live streams. Gross a ginger. Yep. Welcome, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Shauner, that's black magic, though.
True.
Anyone here ever read The Deed of Pakincenarian? It's another good trilogy that the RPG guys out there would appreciate. Best depiction of basic military training in a fantasy world, hands down.
I've never heard of that.
Let me see. Pacific Rim and Robot Jocks have the same quality of sequel, I see. I never saw the first Pacific Rim.
I saw it. I did not want to see it. My friend dragged me along, and I thought it was terrible. I thought it was god awful. And everybody seems to like Pacific Rim. I don't know why.
I couldn't tell you. I mean, I like robots, but I'm tired of I'm tired of fucking giant cataclysmic movies.
Yeah, I don't care. And I understand that's what like giant robot versus giant monster is partially about, but like you gotta pull me into that world.
Yeah.
And I just do not care what happens to any of these people at all.
Do you guys think people actually play these lame-ass story games?
Well, it's not really possible to play a lot of them.
Yeah. Like maybe once or twice.
I think, they play it once or twice specifically for the cloud, and then they'll talk about it forever.
Right. Common J for $10.
Oh,
Thank you very much. When it comes to libertarians, You're either the Argentinian president Javier Milei or you're not. No in between. That's a good way to look at it. That is true. I love Milei. Oh, man.
Yeah.
If you had told me 7 months ago.
Inconceivable.
Yeah. That an anarcho-capitalist, giga-autist cosplay, like
right.
macho, like Chad, like just it would become it's still like blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Like we live in the best timeline. Here we go. Dude, my favorite golem is the calzone golem in the 3.5 something's cooking scenario.
Well, that's cool as hell. Let's not get that twisted.
Putin isn't even acting in Russian interests. He's acting in the interests of his own and Cabal's personal gains. Would Frankenstein's monster qualify as a homunculus? Things to ponder.
Definitely not a good one because he got free.
Yeah. Did you watch Penny Dreadful?
No.
It's really good. And
I think I may have seen one episode of it.
Frankenstein is constructing his monster in like the first episode. And it's like, you know, very childlike and whatever. And at the very end of the cliffhanger of the first episode is the actual Frankenstein monster shows up and kills it in front of him and is like, "Hello, father." It's like,
oh damn,
it's a second attempt. Same monster with different colors and elements actually works in the Eastern mythology because the elements are like runes who make a logic of the world.
Yeah, but is it? I'll leave it.
Kabbalah is heretical to Judaism, by the way. It's like the opposite because it's Gnostic. I hate all settings that are fantasy, but it's really sci-fi. People think it's magic, but it's really just science that people don't understand. It's the worst trope. Yeah. There's a recent book titled The Golem and the Genie. It's decent. Premise is good, but the author doesn't really understand how to world build with those two kinds of mythic creatures.
I believe you.
Yeah. Dune does this really well, in my opinion, the magic science thing, though I know it doesn't want to pass as magic in Dune. No, it's just crazy psychedelics and
yeah, like insane genetic manipulation and eugenics.
Yeah. Arthur C. Clarke. Yeah.
Yeah, Arthur C. Clarke. That's right. That's right.
Cherry 2000 counts as a golem, right? One of my favorite cheesy movies. I haven't seen that.
Don't know what that is.
For Clarke's third law, correct. The concerns that concerns which subgenre of fantasy. For modernic fantasy, Clarke is right. For pure fantasy, he's wrong.
But all modern fantasy is wrong by its nature. Mm-hmm. It's terrible.
Correct. Atlantic Rim is greater than Pacific Rim. I don't know. Want to check out Crown and Skull. Brandon has done several pieces of art for my projects.
Is that the Runehammer game?
I don't know.
I think that it is.
I don't even know who Runehammer is.
I'm not a fan.
No.
I don't like his swag. And I don't know. It seems like it would not be my taste at all.
Well, you know what is to our taste?
The stuff we're making.
The stuff we're making. Yeah.
Definitionally.
Yeah. It's so we got back on track. Nick's moved here. I'm done traveling. We're back in, Christmas is over. Everything. Yeah. We're back in the saddle. So we decided to crack open our Golems project again and actually get rolling on that and are making a lot of progress. It's going to be really good.
Yes.
I think.
No, it will be.
I know.
It's not a matter of contention.
Yeah. This is not just a simple matter of taste. But basically this is
it's a source book or a supplement that's giving you as a GM or a player a deep dive from an in-world focus.
Yeah.
Not in terms of a meta plot way. There's no established setting here as such, but when if you read through the monster manual, right, or the Pathfinder Bestiary, and you see an iron golem, a clockwork golem, an XYZ golem, you see the art, and you what little is there is cool enough, and the fact that the natural questions that arise in your imagination are not capitalized on or even thought about at all is a tremendous crime. And so, like, what is a golem, right? It's an artificial life form, or a semblance of a life form made by a very powerful wizard or arcanist or whatever you want to call it. But that endeavor is more than just writing a check for 30,000 gold pieces worth of rocks or scrap metal or whatever, and then I cast a 6th level spell and a 3rd level spell and blah blah blah. I have my craft wondrous item feat, and I make my spellcraft check and there it is. No. Why would someone make this? How would a magically minded individual look at the natural world around them? What things do they see that we don't see as mundane people? What magical affinities and powers and capacities could they draw from this inanimate material, and how do they give that life? And it's really cool to examine those things, because the answers to those questions are an entire series of story seeds.
Yeah.
That you could not only hang a particular arc on, you could hang an entire campaign on this.
Yeah.
Again, whether it's from player-directed side, or you want to include something like this as a GM as either an antagonist or a neutral force, or just a wild card type of force in your world. It begs these questions, and there's so much more inspiration to be had there.
Yeah, essentially it's like this kind of initially grew out of, like, about a year ago, we decided to just open the 5th edition monster manual and look at the art.
And we were horrified.
We were horrified at how bad the art was. And we were reading some of the monsters, and we're like, there's nothing here. This is literally, it's just a bag of hit points for you to fight with some different resistances. And I was like, none of this is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, who gives a shit about
boring as hell.
Yeah, it's boring as hell. And it's no wonder that people's games are boring.
Yeah.
And so we obviously, we come from, kind of the tradition of, Vampire the Masquerade and whatnot. And those games had a lot of really, really interesting things in them, that when you take a certain bloodline or clan or monster, or bring something in from one of the different supernaturals in, it's not simply a monster to fight.
Right.
It
has implications.
It has implications for other things in the game. So there's even 2nd and 3rd order effects to just bringing them into the game. And that's the sort of thing that we want to kind of try to bring to fantasy games that seem to be lacking a lot in not only flavor, but this kind of mindset of giving the GMs and players really evocative premises to work on for games and launching off points. And so that got us thinking on we should just do the real monster manual, that was our,
that's how we initially thought.
This is our initial thoughts on this. And so and we're thinking how would we do that? And it's we would have to go really in depth on things. And so we just decided we each kind of chose something we thought was really underwhelming in a lot of these fantasy games. And Nick chose Golems. I chose a different one that we may work on later, but he really got cooking on some great ideas for how to make Golems interesting, and really how to think about a monster as more than just something simply to fight. it can be the premise of all sorts of adventurers. So it's pretty interesting. The way we're kind of structuring this is there's kind of three major, I'd say four major sections to this book we're working on. Nick did all of the kind of initial creative work on coming up with like what is interesting about this monster and broke it down by material type. What are the properties of this material?
Right.
What are why would a wizard select this material?
Because the book is not only giving you interesting creatures, which can be used because of the nature of what golems are. This isn't like a troll or an ogre, right? This is a creature that has been created. So
it's
how do you make these things?
And it's like each one should be unique.
Yes. Like each one of these are not automobiles on the assembly line.
Right.
Every one of these things is a unique entity unto itself.
Right.
With a tremendously important and resonant story behind them.
Right.
Because they're absolutely this could be the life's work of someone.
Right. Right. And so it's broken down by materials. And the idea is that to kind of breathe life into these materials, you actually need to like steal consciousness from something else.
Yes.
And graft it into this material. You're basically sort of imprisoning and warping the consciousness of some other thing to bring the material to life, to some semblance of life and sentience. And in doing so, you also have to do a specific type of ritual. So there's variations on material. There's various combinations. There's like, I don't remember exactly how many we have for each category, but someone could do the set permutations on this, but it's a lot. It's like probably at least 100, like maybe 75 to 100 different unique
types. And that's not including, maybe you only take a few sort of abilities or just one ability from each. So it would definitely be over 100 different combinations, I feel like.
Yeah, it's so it's gonna be fucking awesome. And we started going through the materials and like picking out like, okay, what is it exactly specifically that's interesting about this? And like, it's going to be very, very interesting. But the kind of purpose of this, again, is that from a GM's perspective, if you want to introduce this really interesting monster into the world, we have kind of a very simple way of kind of rolling up the monster itself. Like by choosing material, you can do this randomly, choosing material type, spirit that is breathed into it, what ritual was done. And by going through the different entries on all three of these different things, this kind of tells you everything that you need to know about the wizard who created this thing. And so the hope is that you don't only create, a golem, is you create a high level wizard that created the golem. Because the circumstances surrounding the creation of this thing they're really kind of far reaching. Like it takes, and if you want to do this as a player and create one of these things, you have to go on adventures to do this. This is like, it is, the entire idea is to spur people into more adventures, not to simply fight the Pokemon.
This will be a long-standing ambition for your wizard character. Let's say, if they want to do this, even if they're already, to say nothing of, the getting from level 1 to whatever, from like, you need this feat mechanically to do it in whatever your game system. Fine. Even starting out at that level of power and knowledge. Okay, now I know what I have to do. Well, geez, now I have to go out into the world and gather all of these things, these materials, these animating forces, and I have to prepare myself for a lot of adversity along the way.
And the consequences of failure
are
dire.
Quite tremendous.
Yeah. So it's not to be undertaken lightly. There's things can go wrong at like every stage, but it's also like this is a deeply evil act to do this.
Yeah.
Creating this thing, breathing life, grafting life into this unliving material is basically like a sin of nature. You're committing crimes of the material world, the spiritual world,
crimes against God and yourself and your fellow man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty awesome.
All high level magic.
Right.
I can't think of any high level like wizardly magic that isn't evil. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the idea is also that it's like when you're doing these rituals and creating these golems, you're not only affecting the golem. It is so you are by the very sin and act that you're committing, you are making permanent alterations to
you're making many
yourself.
Conscious decisions along the way.
Many conscious decisions, and this ends up altering you as a wizard. So you actually end up getting certain benefits and drawbacks associated with successfully creating this thing. And they are all based on material type, spirit, what the ritual you chose. So there's a lot of different things that can happen, and a lot of different interesting things that can it's an extremely interesting way to make antagonists. And this is the thing that we're doing, is that each one of these entries for materials and whatnot is going to have a kind of a brief, I would say almost, I'm not even sure it's like fiction, but it's like in-world, some bit of flavor associated with these things that is also just going to be full of story hooks for you guys. And this is kind of one of the things is we want to kind of train people to think in the way that we do when we run games.
Flavor and imagination first. The mechanics are going to be there. It's going to be very simplistic, but don't think of things. Certainly don't think of these types of creatures from mechanics first. What do I need to do to get Sonic Resistance 20 on this thing? No.
So not it. This is about generating lots and lots of hooks for players to latch onto and to take your games in all sorts of different directions.
And hopefully, again, this is a deep dive on one type of creature.
Right.
But seeing how people in a world where these things exist, how they view this type of creature, what the effects are, first, second, and third order, as you say, hopefully will give you inspiration and a perspective for how to view other things in the world as well, which are not detailed, not in this particular book, but if this is true about golems, where there's this tremendous forethought and into their creation, and the effects of their existence are potentially so wide-reaching, so too must that be the case for so many other things in like a fantasy milieu. So it's what hopefully people will read this and say to themselves, that's so interesting, that's so evocative, I never thought about it that way. That opens up so many other doors.
Right. And so the point also is this whole thing of like choosing material, getting in some cases, getting the material might be the easiest part. You've got granite. You can probably buy granite from a quarry.
Yes.
That, which is also one of the reasons why this is the easiest material to work with.
Yes.
The other materials can be significantly more difficult to acquire in game. But the next part is once you whatever system, whatever D20 system, whatever the equivalent is in your system. I'll use Axe as an example. Is like you'd make a magical research roll to design the golem.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've designed it, we're kind of hooking in to this part of the of the process and saying, okay, now you know what you need. Like what is going to be the ideal combination of spirit and form, and what are the the limitations on the form that this monster takes. You now have to go out and capture this fucking spirit.
Yeah,
and hopefully not die in the process. But this is its own adventure. Returning it back, and then if you make your second roll for actually creating the golem and whatnot, this is adding in this step of performing this ritual.
Yes.
And then once this thing, like all of this is potentially going to put your campaign into completely different directions.
Oh yeah.
Simply because you wanted to make a robot.
Right.
It's right. It's to add more adventure.
And we're going to be giving flavor and substance and the details that a GM will need about these different spirits as well, because it became apparent that we ended up having to talk about another type of creature,
right?
Because again, you don't in a world of magic and this fantasy tone, you don't just go into the B12 hex where there happens to be on the random wilderness encounter table the possibility for 1d3 spirit. Like, that's not how it works.
Right.
Again, think about it from the perspective of a wizard, someone who is steeped in arcane and forbidden lore. The spirits are not walking around. They're insubstantial. So you need to draw them out of the spirit world, or whatever realm that such beings exist in your setting. To do that implies other magical practices or certain things that you have to do to draw them out, and then you have to subdue them, and then you have to bind them.
Right. When we were just riffing on some of these ideas for some of these kind of flavor pieces, we came up with like an incredibly short story. It's just a very short conversation between a couple of characters. And from that, we're like, these are the fucking, I was like, you have like 5 or 6 adventure hooks like built into this.
Yeah.
Like it's very good. Why are we so good at this? Is what I'm saying. No, but it's going to be, I think, extremely interesting. And it'll be useful. Honestly, the most important thing out of this is that I hope that people learn to think about these things more deeply than than what's just than just
a CR number or a sack of hit points or an assortment of mechanical powers.
It's so much more interesting when there is some sort of goal behind the monster. Golems largely being inanimate, it's like they're serving someone.
Yeah, they're serving
or were serving someone.
They at least were at one point.
Yeah.
So they were made for a reason.
For a reason.
It's an even more like poignant's the wrong word, but like it's an even more like prescient example of the often rightly memed on, ogre or beholder in the 20 by 20, the 30 by 30 room, which it couldn't have gotten in and out of.
Yeah.
And it's just, it happens to be there. Well, it says there's a golem in here just because.
Yeah.
And definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Yeah. You would be wasting our product. All right, let's see here.
See if we can catch up here.
It's surprising golems have little or no connection to elementals in D&D. You'd think that would be a great origin for the concept of inanimate life.
Yeah.
That's
part of the answer.
That's a pretty interesting thing you've just hit on there.
But much deeper than that.
Yeah, but much deeper than that. Bruh, in 5e, the demons look like halflings and the halflings look like demons. What are the good ones, though? I'm not even asking culture war questions. Just like if these guys, these guys OSR guys or VTM type guys, you know?
I don't know what that must be in reference to something that we missed.
I don't know. Circling back to Gene Wolfe, he explores some of those questions in The Fifth Head of Cerberus. Oops. Monster Manual art got progressively worse from 3rd edition and on. 3rd still had some ball and artwork, but 2E takes the prize. Yeah, I mean, the 2E cover art was great.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the 2E art was good, but a lot of it was not. And I don't remember 3E because I played very, very little 3E, like probably 2 sessions. The Monster Overhaul is a great monster book. Not familiar.
Okay.
The monsters also have repetitive fluff. 90% of humanoids are just slavers and raiders, my guy.
Yeah.
And 90% of non-humanoids are just some permutation of evil eat monster serving the big bad god. Yeah, I sleep. Guy in chat wants to learn what roleplay is.
Keep watching.
Yeah. In Vampire, a lot of the opponents are people, like the PCs are. They have motivations, goals, interests. They're not just bags of hit points.
100%.
Exactly. And you can do that with monsters. In the Galarian setting, Pathfinder, they flat out state that golems are powered by elemental spirits. So there you go. Call of Cthulhu, Empire, the Petal Throne, Dungeon World are all almost okay. What is roleplay as its own episode? True. The Axe Monster Manual is refreshing to see almost every monster has ecology and theorized origins.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the things
especially the Medusas.
Yeah, the Medusas and the Gorgons are fucking awesome. Really cool. The Spell Tyrant is really good, which is the Beholder. Yeah, is really good. We of course read the Golems entries there. My favorite one though that I've come across, and the name is escaping me, but it is an undead circulatory system. Carved out of someone. It's creepy as hell. The Mummy Lords are good too. They kind of stand in for the Lich. Which is really, really good. The Axe Monster Manual is excellent and gave a much more, because the Oran Empire stuff, there is not an official campaign setting supplement. You get it through basically like the modules. There is a primer. It's like 20 pages. The modules have a lot of stuff on it, as well as which I think some of the stuff from the primer has been included in the new it's either revised rulebook or in the judge's journal. I can't remember. But the monster manual really gives you a whole bunch of flavor for the Oran Empire. It's really, really good. Macrease deserves every bit of success that he's gotten from Acts 2, and I hope that that people continue buying it when after it ships. Pave Low is the coolest YouTube name ever. Axe is played like D&D.
That is true, but it does the most by many orders of magnitude. Does the work to make that genre make sense in a living world.
Yes.
And for that, it deserves credit.
Yeah. And if you want to do domain play and actually have domain play that makes sense and has economic constraints and stuff like that, nothing else even comes close to it.
Yeah, the effort to make it finally make sense.
Yeah.
Please.
D&D has a bad habit of only giving the raw combat potential for its creatures.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody else.
And it's like
everybody else.
I can put numbers in a box, like who fucking cares? That's not what is interesting to me about monsters.
Yeah.
Instructions for making a golem. First, you have to get a Smeagol. Har, har, har. Axe seems like a tremendous amount of work that is unfortunately tied to D20 class level fantasy gaming. The class and level structure doesn't bother me. It's the detail. Some of the details in Axe bother me. The broad, skeleton of it, though, is really good, and I really like it. D&D skeletons are very bare bones.
Got him.
At Shauner, play axe with Traveler. Open the golem. There's a midget inside. And if you open the midget, there's an even smaller midget inside the midget. You're very kind to say so. I just picked it just to call back to the best job I ever had, flying an MH-53J. I still dream about zipping around in that beast.
Nice. I'm assuming that's some kind of airplane.
Yeah. Have you guys read Lion and Dragon? If so, what are your thoughts on the homunculi?
Well,
I liked the homunculi.
Yeah. The homunculi was cool.
It was awesome.
And was the MVP.
Of that game.
Henry.
Most Travelers played like A team. N1 looks at Traveler and says, this needs more world building stuff. Let's see. People talking to each other. Traveler has axe in it already, I guess. In my experience, Firefly is a definitive Traveler campaign.
That seems to be right from what I've intuited, but Shauner would know. I would not.
Yeah. Someone recommended Fragged Empire.
Fragged Empire
2E the other day and looked into it. It looks pretty amazing.
I know I've seen that name, but I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. Most Traveler players that can't roleplay use Firefly to sound important.
Get wrecked.
Oh, man. Here's an interesting way to look at it. Are golems really monsters, or are they just weapons that are fire and forget, like an AMRAAM missile? Well, they...
I would say they are, because the things that had to happen to make them are potentially so monstrous as to be unforgivable.
Yes. And I mean, I suppose you could have them do fire and forget missions. You know, you're gonna.
But if you fire and you,
the consequences,
the forget,
are
going to be, if you give one of these things a command
and you die,
or it's so like open ended, and that it keeps walking for miles to chase some guy to kill him. There's going to be a lot of collateral damage.
Lots and lots of collateral
Even if
damage.
you don't think so, the whole kingdom will. Think this is a monster.
Let me guess. You got used to picking tree branches out of your landing gear. We're still talking about the plane. Yeah, Puddle Throne's setting freaking rules.
Yes, it does. Tekkamel is cool as hell.
Traveler players play Firefly like D&D. GM for food. I had a few close calls with telephone wires and radio antennas. I don't miss that part of flying. Oh man, I just watched this video today of this guy, this famous thing where he gets in this charter plane that he owns. He's not flying. Pilot, he's got his teenage daughters and his wife are in the back, and he's sitting next to him. He's only got like 20 hours from 20 years ago in a Cessna, but he's got this pilot next to him, and they start the climb and they put it on autopilot, and the pilot dies. Like literally is just dead. And and so then it's like 90 minutes of like air traffic control being like, these people are going to die, but they're like, send out the search and rescue. Whenever they're going to die, got like maybe a 10% chance, and the guy manages to fly it and like land it. It was just like, oh my god. And they're making it into a movie that's coming out this year apparently. Which they already made in the 80s called Airplane. Which now I can say is a true story. Golems should be a mystical creation whose creation requires a moral flaw in their creators. Yes.
Big time.
The original golems in Jewish literature are very complex. That is big true.
Big true.
I wanted to try out Firefly, but my Chinese is terrible. Not Glorantha good, but still pretty good. Talking about Tekkamel.
Glorantha is very good as well.
Treat golems like the Japanese
something.
Tools that gain a soul over many years of use. Create golems as crime. That's the concept of the demiurge. I'm not familiar. Firefly is a good example of a free trader campaign for newbies, but there are a lot of other ways to play like the Scout campaign I'm in right now. Oh, as a note, we did forget one section on this as well. So not only is it like rules for creating golems and blah, 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 we are also providing a large number of pre-made golems that can be dropped into a campaign that are written and created this way and that are a lot more interesting and have a whole lot of story hooks for you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't want to do the work, then the work will have been done for you as well.
Yes.
Oh, wait, did I actually read this? No, I didn't. Firefly is a good example of a free trader campaign for newbies, but there are a lot of other ways. Oh, I did that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait. Got a super chat. For $20
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. 28 millimeter. Rick is in the house. Here, lunch money. Thank you.
Yeah. And increasingly just enough for lunch money. Now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Biden. All right. We're still talking about Firefly here. Was in a game where the nature of necromancy came up. Everyone but myself and my best friend, also a player, couldn't comprehend just how evil necromancer is. It's frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah. The most evil kind of magic.
Yeah.
I don't
because
get
you're
it.
not bringing it back to life.
Yeah.
You're animating a corpse.
Yeah.
But
it's just they're already dead, man. It's just empty flesh, man.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah. It's not hurting anybody. They're dead already.
If your Traveler game is on YouTube, I can bet that there is no role playing. Oh God, Sean!
And he can bet that because Shauner's seen it already.
Oh yeah, he's already seen every Traveler game on YouTube.
Shauner is a vengeful god.
Yeah, nothing can stop him. I would, but I made my own D100 game instead. Where can I put particle cannons on the ship? Particle cannons for the win. All right, maybe there is role play in there. Larry Correa's Servants of War has the kind of flavor these guys are talking about. The settings is good too. World War I mixed by Eastern European folklore. Oh, that's
cool.
That sounds fucking rad.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, I love folklore,
and I love World War I.
Yeah, a lot of YouTube
and
RPG
folklore.
Sessions are more performances than game. Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah,
and they're bad performances.
Bad performances.
Just have the resurrected dead scream in horrible agony every single time. They'll catch on.
They probably won't though.
Yeah. The X-Files Golem was pretty good raw material for this. I don't remember that one.
I remember that one. It makes sense there was an X-Files episode about this. I need to rewatch.
I need to rewatch. Yeah.
The
X-Files for sure. I haven't rewatched it in a very long time. Golems, unique, no, stylish and available now at an affordable price. You bet. As the owner of Golem City, I want to let everyone know that 2024 models are on the lot. Yeah. Clay, stone, rod, we got them all.
Yeah.
A lot of YouTube VTT and Hollywood Squares games of Traveler are Mother May I games. The ref talks in second person. Very lame.
Agreed.
Seems like wood would be the easiest kind of golem to build, but I'm sure there's a way to make it trickier. Has to be a rare wood, needs high level of wood carving skills, etc. We don't have wood golems.
No. Yeah. We have other kinds because what I wanted to do is I wanted to avoid, for the most part, the common types you see in monster manuals and anything that would give the temptation to view them as just, this is a robot.
Yeah.
So there are some things that you've seen before. Granite, that you can imagine that being somewhat equivalent to the quote unquote stone golem.
You can imagine a marble golem, like a giant Greek statue.
Yeah.
But again, it's things like that where
that's the level of like particularity.
Yeah, there's a lot more to that. And some of it being like, if you're making a marble golem, it has to be beautiful.
Yes.
You literally will not be able to create this.
It will, the stone will not.
The nature of the material will not accept anything. It will not. It won't work. So there's restrictions on how you construct these things, and it's based on the material type and really, and there's a lot more to it. I don't want to spoil too much of it. And here's the other thing: if you guys are watching and you're not aware, we do have a community over at Locals. It's blacklodgegames.locals.com. If you go and use promo code MIDWIT, this is not a joke, MIDWIT, you will get 1 month free access, and that is going to give you some perks like our YouTube videos as they come out. You'll get them 36 to 24 hours before they go on YouTube. You'll be able to see them there. You'll also get like a monthly live stream, which we actually need to set up for a monthly live stream that's only for the subscribers there. And you're also going to get access to early bits of the writing of this book as it's done. So
excerpts
you can see what we're talking about. And we'll also go over, challenges and unforeseen consequences of what we're doing. And see, you'll know well in advance of when the Kickstarter will be ready for this, which is going to be a while, but yeah, so head over there, blacklodgegames.com blacklodgegames.locals.com/promo/midwit, and you'll get a month free. I imagine clay golem would be really common with how cheap and accessible clay forming is, with swappable pieces like different arms and legs. Yeah, part of this though is that our golems are very powerful monsters and entities, and so the material choices are much more durable than that in a lot of ways, and they become magically more durable. Obviously.
By the process of making this inanimate material into something new, the semblance of life, it changes fundamentally.
Latex golem. Decided which systems mechanics you're linking this to? Not 100%.
We want to keep it loose enough that this is easily translatable into the game of your choice. But we'll probably have a sort of a foundational anchor point from a mechanics point of view.
It's definitely will be a D20 based thing. So meant to be used with popular fantasy games. So if you're running an OSR system, you'll be able to use it. If you're running 5e, you'll be able to use it. You might have to make some minor adjustments, whatever. But
it'll be the conceptual framework. You take the material, you take the spirit, you combine it with a magic ritual. That's very easy to understand and easy enough for you to sort of adjust as you need to. You could do this in Pathfinder. You could do it in D&D. You could do it in Axe. You could do this in RuneQuest. It'll be pretty self-evident sort of what to use. Okay, there's not a spellcraft roll in RuneQuest or in Axe, but there are these things, let's say, which are pretty self-evident.
Was a player for once, not my responsibility. Comically, though, the rogue, me, and the barbarian were the ones against it, even though we had a paladin in the party. Not sure what he's referring to. Please, no, not another hour and a half adventure shopping.
Yeah.
Second person, what's wrong with saying you see a figure darting around a corner? I couldn't tell you, but I bet Shauna will. I have a complaint. I brought a 2019 Mazda Carrington from your lot, and the transmission blew out at the first combat.
You shouldn't have bought a Mazda.
Yeah. Starts a fork in the timeline. So for warranty service, I have to play the Conan game Elephant Tower and win, and then I can talk to the wizard who made my golem.
I mean, you could from the Tower of the Elephant short story. Yeah. I mean that wizard there who captured that elephant Cthulhu demon or whatever it was. He definitely would have been powerful enough to craft one of these.
My dog is just out of frame. Let me see if I can get her in frame. Are you in frame? There's her nose. All right. What? Enter a wizard's tower. He has a bunch of golems modeled after women he lusted after. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
why wouldn't you?
Why would
you make a golem? Tremendous power.
Tremendous power.
And if you're okay, Mr. Max, if you're playing a magic user and you don't have some horrifically evil goal, are you really playing a magic user?
Yeah. You've delved so deep.
Yeah.
And you're so obsessed with these bits of arcane lore
Mm-hmm.
the answers go beyond like pragmatism.
And you have,
although the pragmatic concerns.
Well, the pragmatic. I mean, you also have an incredibly powerful servitor.
Yeah.
You know, at that point.
Yeah.
Like you're.
That alone is
right.
A tremendous boon.
Let me see here. Oddly enough, the recall notice was engraved in the ancient High Sumerian runes on the wall of the employee's bathroom in the lost pyramid of Tothamon. No, not what is roleplay. Is it possible to roleplay in a one-shot? Yeah, so this was a question on our locals. And I do think it's possible to roleplay in a one-shot. You definitely can.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Well, I can't argue about that, but my attorneys from the law firm of Abaddon, Belial, and Loth can. Are you thinking of any mechanical aspects to gathering / magic for the golem creation? To use an overly simplistic example, how to avoid going on an MMORPG fetch quest and then rolling a die?
We have thought about that.
Yeah.
And the answers are going to be inherent in the description of what these various things are, where they're found, and how they're acquired.
And a huge portion of it is also based on which spirit type you're attempting to capture and bind into this thing, because you're going. There's only specific circumstances that will draw these things out.
Right.
Some of which being like there has to be a battle, like a large scale battle that attracts a specific type of spirit, and then you have to draw it out from there. So you might have to find an existing war, and this has to be like a fresh battle. It's not we went to this battlefield.
Yeah, I went to the Battle of Gettysburg.
200 years. It's not it. It's like you might have to start a war to do this sort of thing. So again, it's about finding interesting ways to add adventures into this without making it a simple fetch quest. Yeah. And like I said, some of the materials you could probably just buy it, and that's fine.
Yes.
But that's only a very small part
of what you need to do.
Yeah. I know there's there are flayed ones which resurrect piles of skin that suffocate you.
A type of monster.
Yeah, that might be in reference to the circulatory system monster.
Yeah, it must. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Uh-oh.
We got $5.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the stream. This was some excellent ruminations on all things Golem. Future streams on other critters, dragons, demons, etc. Yes, but not for a while.
Not for a while. But
because we haven't put a lot of thought into other monsters. This is the one that we're thinking about at the moment. But yes, that more to
definitely.
Come. Oh man, we got a lot of chats. I laid back to Acts 2 so I don't get the Monster Manual PDF. That doesn't sound correct to me. Did you buy all 3 books?
How you can't not buy all 3 books? Can you? Can you buy only the?
I don't think so.
I think it's all or nothing.
Yeah, it should be in the playtester files. I don't know.
Check it again. Maybe you
check with McCrease.
Maybe he backed it late, but before McCrease added the Monster Manual,
because the Monster Manual came late, like considerably late.
Yeah. So check it again.
BRP, improved by doing, is still the best advancement mechanic in gaming.
I agree. That's how experience works in BRP.
Advancement mechanics aren't really that important. You spend almost no playtime engaging with them. They're just bookkeeping between roleplay sessions.
I mean, I definitely don't want a convoluted advancement system, but you don't interact with them, but you are keeping track of the things, the skills and the knowledge that you've used under duress in traumatic circumstances.
For fuck's sake, you guys are closing in on 3K. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're so close. Hopefully to be 30K by the end of the year. I challenge you guys to make a video of effective roleplay in Candela Obscura or OSC or Shadow Dark.
We did that.
Yeah, we did that with Shadow Dark already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not possible in Candela Obscura, as we proved in our 2 videos about Candela Obscura, but see a very high immersive excerpt playstyle in our Shadow Dark versus OSE video.
I did like the fact that Clay Golems in Pathfinder 1E had a cumulative 1% chance each round of combat of going berserk and becoming uncontrollable, but it was just clay ones, so that was kind of dumb. It's $20 Canadian, not enough for lunch money. You hear that? You hear that, Rick? He's calling you poor. But we do appreciate your poor bucks. If you want to hear actually an authentically awesome Traveler game being played, check out the BPL podcast one.
Okay. I will wait for Shauner to vet that for me.
Yeah.
And if it gets his approval, then I'll watch it.
Mr. Max says, I never saw the X-Files. I was thinking of watching them for the first time. It's really good, dude. I love it. It's a very, very fun show. I need space golems. I don't know if we can deliver you space golems, but we can deliver you some fantasy golems, as you have delivered unto us many super chats, which we very much appreciate. No Pinocchiolems. I mean, that's sort of what we're doing, though.
Yeah,
it is a dark Pinocchio.
It is kind of.
Yeah. You were sort of talking about the Pinocchio thing earlier, but yeah, we'll move on.
We got you covered.
BPL podcast has roleplay in it. Sounds like a trap. There is a game in which Pinocchios are a playable race, isn't there? Brancolonia or something. Never heard of that.
I feel like I've heard that name come up in Twitter or in YouTube comments recently. I have no idea what it's about.
How's it going, RPG Grandma?
Hey, good to see you.
Pinocchio was a wood golem. Changed my mind. Slenderman style golem. Stabs you with his spindly hands and legs.
Yeah.
Midwit sounds like my kind of place.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it actually took us a while to get Midwit to actually work. But it's working now.
Yeah. That's why it works now. We had to sort of embody the Midwit spirit for a moment.
Yeah, exactly. Or
several
moments. Yeah, exactly. Midwit to get it live before it's live. It's a small cost for time travel. Exactly.
True.
A friend of mine, and I agree that D10 system from Chronicles of Darkness can be used for pretty much anything with minor tweaking. I don't know about that. I like it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
It's not the best for everything.
Someone is in the back. I don't know what you're talking about. Yep. Doggo's here again. The moment I hit the comment, she wants to go outside, but I'm not going to take her out yet. She's kind of cooped up a little bit today. Your secret is out, fake cell. That's who I was referencing an hour ago. I don't know who you're talking about. Release the Hound. Found BPL, will give it a watch. I predict no Traveler roleplay. The chance of roleplay in a one-shot is the same as in a campaign. Yeah. Almost none. Was Edward Scissorhands a golem?
No, just a terrible movie.
BPL is quality stuff. It better be. Or Shauna will make a video about you. I believe it will be a cyborg kind of.
Is this about Edward Scissorhands? A cyborg?
I don't know. One of the golems needs to require a human who's been petrified by the Medusa. I don't know. That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
That is the stone. Yeah, that's actually that's really cool. That's really cool. I don't know if we'll use that, but
you have no legal recourse if we do.
but that is a really
that's a really good idea.
Yeah, but use that in your game, dude. That's really cool.
That's the kind of thing we're talking about.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'll know in an hour when I stream some BPL. That conversation starts with, do we really need 2 halflings in the party? Yeah.
Do we really need any halflings?
Prepare to be blown away. These guys are awesome. Black Pants Legion on YouTube is well worth watching as well. Would it help you if I unsubscribed and subscribed again? You can do that if you want. I've always wanted to see better research mechanics in games. Players experimenting makes different kinds of golems or constructs to learn how to make a good one.
Yeah. I wouldn't think about it from a mechanics point of view, but like having the space to role play that out.
Axe has magical experimentation rules. And
that is true, which is cool.
Yeah, and you can have really bad stuff happen if it goes wrong,
Yeah.
which is great. Real
higher
research
risk for higher reward.
Yeah, real research is a highly iterative process, not just a formula. Yeah, but at the same time, I think a lot of people don't want to sit there and like role play reading. And it
shouldn't be that way for a wizard. Like I understand, what a scientist at a lab,
right? But they it's like they treat it like a research role as being like you're sitting in a library.
Yeah,
that's fucking boring. Right. I don't want to actually do that.
Yeah.
Keeping track of advancement is not necessarily a bad thing. You see it all the time in real life. Martial arts, belt colors, military ranks, Freemasonry, etc.
One of these things are not like the other.
Aren't space golems basically robots?
They are, yeah.
Candela Obscura, for people who find one-page RPGs too crunchy. Yeah.
Oof.
So extended roles for research? Yawn. I don't know a good way to deliver the experience, sadly. Yeah, it's tough.
You need to imagine a scene that is dramatic in the moment. Let's say you're a wizard who's researching a certain type of spell, and this is the point in their research. They have been reading for days, weeks, months, whatever, but now they're going to project themselves astrally into like a higher realm of being,
like this exact comment: wizard research, do a shit ton of drugs and fight off cosmic demons to steal their idea juice.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're
all on the same page here.
Yeah. Research sounds cool until you actually do some research, then you want to Minecraft yourself to end the boredom wall. There should be research roles and do your own research roles. Oh my god, we caught up with the chat.
Oh my god.
We did skip a few, but it was mostly Shauner talking about people not role playing.
Which is a service that must never stop.
Right.
If Shauner stops,
it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
The world stops spinning.
Yeah. It's like Aztecs doing sacrifices, you know.
Yeah.
If they stop, everything else stops.
But yeah, so that's what we've got.
Yeah, that's what we've got going on at the moment.
We will talk more about it as time progresses and we get closer and things become more firmed up and more complete.
Yeah. And we got a whole lot of stuff to learn about, actually laying out a book and getting it printed and
getting art and doing
art and everything like that, which again, for everybody who's super shatted who super shit themselves tonight. No, for everyone who's super chatted, thank you very much. Because it really absolutely makes a big difference. We are going to be using the money that you guys have given us, not only to really take the podcast to the next level, which is relaunching and very soon, but this is directly helping us fund getting art for this book. Speak of the devil, we got another super chat here. $9.99. Excellent stream as always, fellas. Totally worth skipping a night of call girls and booze. Well, I didn't skip the booze. Thank you, Billy Mitchell, for the $9.99.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate that.
And so it's the money that you give us here. If you also if you've joined the locals, we thank you guys a million times as well for that, because same thing. It's good.
Everything is going back.
It's not just like help us keep the lights on. It's like no, we're gonna actually make some cool shit. So and you guys are helping pay for it, which is fucking amazing. Sounds cool, guys. Need to make a PD6 version. Yeah. Well, man, I still have not read the entirety of Streets of Peril yet, but I really like it, and
it seems really cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Interesting, and more importantly, coming from the right perspective.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah,
and your channel is really good. Like, please make more YouTube videos.
Yeah,
they're really, really good.
Not only about like mechanics and philosophy, which is great. Don't stop doing that. But I would love to hear more about the world of Streets of Peril as well.
Well, and we will when we get Storms over Sternberg.
That's true.
Adios. Have a good night, Primeval Fannies.
Take care, man.
Let me see here. I'll hop over to Midwit and check it out. Thanks for putting that together. Yeah, man. Well, thanks for
the interest.
Yeah. And buy a Canuck lunch. Like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Exactly. Good night, RPG Grandma. These are always a blast. Yeah. Sorry, I had to order more books from Lamentations website. Yeah. Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you for joining. Really glad that
always great hanging with people.
Yeah,
this is very fun.
Very excited to talk to you next week. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. In a Cyberpunk Red game right now. Nice.
Oh, cool.
Our solo just got his legs blown off by a bazooka. Drug deal gone wrong. You know how guys got at Night City.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I downloaded the lost session today onto the computer so I can edit that and upload it.
We should just never upload it now.
I know. But we'll keep teasing it every time. Yeah. But something similar
happened.
Yeah. Because my character. Oh man, talking about making a YouTube video. I'll be back this Sunday. Nice.
Hell yeah.
21:10 hours Eastern Standard Time. Awesome.
Everybody stream on Sunday stream.
Good night, Chumbadas.
Yeah.
Milai, the RPG. Why would we make an RPG when we get the real thing? You know?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Nice.
Let's see. I've always wanted to run a Cyberpunk 2020 where the big bad evil guys are Disney corporate legal.
Yeah. You should.
Yeah, you should. I mean, you definitely can.
And that is our Cyberpunk game took place in Miami, which is not statted up. It's that there's no lore. In fact, I think in the actual world, Miami is underwater completely.
Yeah.
But I thought Miami is a cool as fuck place to start a Cyberpunk game. So yeah, if anyone's keeping Florida afloat, it's the Disney Megacorp.
Yeah.
The Disney Viacom Megacorp.
Skirmish Gaming on Sunday. Nice.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, I think we are going to wrap it up. We did start a little bit late today, but we're going to wrap it up about 5 minutes early. Wonderful to talk to you guys. Thank you again for all the super chats. And
thanks everybody for tuning in, hanging out.
And
for all the super chats. Yes.
Yeah, we are super, super excited for the future and to talk to you guys again next week.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we'll probably have a video out next week as well. Working on that this weekend. So
stay tuned.
Have a good night.
Take care, everybody.